toddler parents. I came up with some more activities for you to try at home this week. Again, I went around my house and I found materials that hopefully most of you will have at home so that you can try these with your toddlers. The first activity that I came up with is, if you are lucky enough to have pasta at home, it's hard to find at the store, but if you can find any, or you have some at home, any kind of pasta, like a tube shape, like ziti. This is all that I had at home. It's a little bit small, but if you can find pasta similar to this, find some string. I have some yarn here. If you put a little bit of tape on the end of it, it makes it a little bit easier to push through the holes of the pasta. And then you can just push it through and your toddlers can practice putting it through. It's great fine motor activity. And in the end, they'll have a necklace that you can wear or that they can wear. Another idea for the pasta, if you wanted to, is to put it in some food coloring and water to dye it a little bit, make it some pretty spring colors, and they can come up with a colorful necklace. Certainly you don't have to do that. Plain pasta right out of the box is perfect as well. So that's one activity that you could try. The other activity that I thought of is to take a basket or a tray or just lay it out on a mat, several different objects that need to be opened and closed. So they can be objects like this one I have at home, so they have to lift up the lid and push it back down to close. Containers that need to be turned to be open and closed. Tops that lift right off, open and close. Toddlers love practicing this. We do this a lot at school. And the other activity that you can do with this is hide an object in one of the containers for them to find. Just a little surprise. This happens to be just like a little bouncy ball that we had, but they love opening it up and having a surprise waiting for them. You could also do more than one object to hide in the containers if you wanted to. So you can kind of have fun with it and just give them little surprises in there so that it makes it worthwhile for them to practice opening it and finding a surprise. So that's another activity. There's any kind of object, make sure it's empty. Anything that they can open and close, any container like that would be perfect. Another activity that you could try, if you have a printer at home, you can find these dot marker pages online. You just have to search dot marker free printables. These are papers that I found free online and I printed them off. And your children, most of us don't have dot markers at home. Your children are used to using dot markers at school. I don't have dot markers at home, but I do have crayons. If you have stickers, this would work as well. Put a sticker in each circle in the paper. Otherwise, they can just use crayons, make an X, or just a little scribble, or they could just color the paper. To extend this a little bit, if you wanted to put some numbers in the circles and have your child, say for instance, put a mark or a sticker on all of the number ones, all of the number twos, fill each hole with numbers. We only go up through 10 in toddler. If your child's ready for more than 10, that's great. If they're ready for only up to 1, 2, or 3, that's fine too. That's an idea to practice number identification with them. Another idea is to put letters into the circles and ask them to, for instance, put a mark or a sticker on the letter that says S or the letter that says Ah. So you can work on language skills at the same time and have a little fun making a pretty picture. So that's another idea that you could do at home. Math activity that I thought of, most of us have more than enough stuffed animals at home, so maybe have your child gather, or you can help them gather some stuffed animals. So we have all of these stuffed animals here at my house, and what your child can do, you can ask them to hand you one stuffed animal. Okay, now hand me 2 stuffed animals, and let them count, say 1, 2, and so on, and go up until whatever number that they are familiar with and comfortable with. Again, most of them we've been working with up to number 10 in class. If they're ready for more than that, that's great. If they're only ready for 1 or 2, that's fine too. The idea is just to get them practice counting different objects. Doesn't have to be stuffed animals. I chose stuffed animals because most of us have several of them. They're cute, they're cuddly, they're fun for toddlers, and they might find it engaging to practice their math and counting, but also have something fun to do it with. So that's another idea. The final activity that I chose for today is a combination sensorial and language activity. So what you need to do is find a bag about this size. Hopefully you have one at home. If you don't have a shopping bag this size, you can also use a purse. Any kind of empty bag will do. Take 5 objects from around your house that your toddler will be familiar with, something that they can identify and describe to you. Put them into the bag, then give your toddler the bag. Ask them to reach into the bag and feel each object and try to guess what each object might be. Once they think they know what the objects are, let them pull them out and see if they were correct. Lay each object in front of them. And then the next step to this activity is have your toddler either identify and name each object for you, describe each object. This is a yellow banana. This is something that we wear when it's sunny outside. They are sunglasses. This is something that we use on our hair. The color is black. So different describing words. Have your older toddlers try to use those different words, name each object, and if they're not able to, and some of our toddler friends are just starting to talk, then you can also tell them what each object is. Be sure to emphasize the beginning sound. For instance, this is a banana. Really emphasize that b sound and ask them maybe to repeat the word after you. And this will help to increase their language skills and do some practice. And you can rotate the objects around every couple of days, try to choose new objects to put in the bag, or you could use the same ones and see if they remember from day to day, and maybe they'll start to learn to identify some more objects while they're at home. So these are just some of the activities that I came up with for today. I'm going to keep looking around my house for more ideas, and we'll continue to make videos for you to watch, and hopefully this will help you at home come up with some creative ideas that are similar to what we also do at school, and help kind of pass the time and engage your toddlers and try to keep everyone busy and having some fun while we're all at home these next few weeks. So I hope you're all doing well, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the school.